Aloha everyone, and welcome to this activation with the autumn equinox of 2023 with the Solar Rishi. This is the Solar Rishi Spinal Deprogramming activation. I want to wish you all a blessed autumn equinox experience for those in the northern hemisphere and a spring equinox for those in the southern hemisphere. Just sending so much positivity, support, and a gentle reminder to remember to ask for support from on high. We are more supported than we consciously realize at times. So it's important to continue to expand through whatever it is that you're aware of right now. If there are any challenges coming up on the path or things that you're working through, remember to expand yourself and your energy beyond just that one topic. Get that expanded, heightened perspective. Ask for the support to show up. Ask for the wisdom to show up and enjoy. Enjoy this cosmic quantum surfing as it continues to accelerate. We're going to be talking about some themes here, and the purpose of this activation is to give you some tangible tools to work with your etheric light bodies and your deprogramming of the subconscious, and a lot of wonderful technology of light given to us by the Solar Rishi. And we're going to be working with the Arcturian star family as our etheric technicians for this process. The invitation is to remember that the equinox portals mark a 6-month period, a passageway of 6 months of our experience. So we are opening up new initiations to the spring equinox. And we are reviewing and transcending and clearing out what we were experiencing and essentially unpacking for the last 6 months from the last spring equinox. And I'm referring to those of us in the northern hemisphere, so you can flip this if you're on other parts of the world. So it is important to remember that a lot of the themes that we're working through may continue to spiral up and through us in different ways and different phases because we are working through a 6-month passageway. This is a beautiful transmission that we received from the Solar Rishi. The Solar Rishi are here to provide support for us during these momentous times of shift, and they always come through with these amazing kind of galactic and multidimensional light body technologies for us to utilize, working with the energies of the sun, the solar logos, and the solar prana. Now, before we get into this amazing material, I just want to share that I am having a flash sale at the Mystery School from September 20th until September 24th, and all courses are 50% off. So if you are really feeling a resonance even with the Council of Solar Rishi here, who we're going to work with for this activation, there is an entire mastery course that they essentially gave me to transcribe in 2021, all about working with our physical ascension process during all of the different cosmic and solar shifts in the energies. They first came and started working with me in April of 2021 when we were going through a lot of really intense physical upgrades. There was a lot of solar activity, if you remember that time, and we were having really powerful geomagnetic storms. And so I was having a lot of very intense, very strong physical upgrade sensations, a lot of physical pain and expansion. And it was kicking up a lot of intense fears and programming that was coming out of my nervous system with regards to the body being able to handle such a massive onboarding of physical light. And so a little bit more about the Solar Rishi and how they're here to support us through these processes. They came through providing the most amazing comfort and wisdom. And they really bring through this loving, supportive, fatherly, kind of divine masculine energy, really wanting us to know and trust that there is support for us, to know that we have done this before in other timelines. Our bodies are set up for it. It's just a matter of getting out of our own way and allowing all of the magic to do its own thing. So, of course, the Council of Solar Rishi is one of many beautiful courses that are channeled, and they're created with love for you to support your journey of awakening on every level. From the very basics of the embodiment process and learning how to consciously breathe, for instance, and affect your energy through breath, all the way through the deeper deprogramming of epigenetics and ancestral clearing and activating the DNA, to expanding to the external reality of grid working and starting to explore the crystal grids of Gaia. And there's just so much more, including all of the material of the True North ebook. Each of those chapters of that gifted ebook, of those systems, has been codified into a course. So there's just so much amazing material we have created to support your expansion. And so we just wanted to share this, and we're celebrating everyone in the equinox and the amazing wrap up this final quarter here of 2023. So if you've ever wanted to purchase some of my amazing courses and support my work, they are now 50% off for this flash sale. So thank you so much. And with that, let's get into the activation with the Solar Rishi. Welcome to the Solar Rishi Autumn Equinox Deprogramming Activation. This is an activation that you want to start off by doing some gentle stretching and some yoga. If you'd like to do a kind of slow and restorative Surya Namaskar or the sun salutations, really wanting to just do some kind of very gentle movement in order to start to charge your body under the sun. And this activation was actually received after just doing some movement. I was having a lot of physical tension and pain in the spine, and so I was just doing some gentle stretching outside. I was guided. They said, come outside under the sun right now. I was like, okay, because I was feeling quite achy. And so I wanted to do some support for my spine and just get some movement and tension in the hips out. And the Solar Rishi came forth and guided us to start doing various activations with the solar energy or with the sunlight. And so just to give you the visual of the energy that we're working with a beautiful diamond, crystalline, golden, kind of a rainbow water. So it's a warm gold and definitely some diamond element to it coming from the solar logos. So we're starting to surround ourselves with that energy, and also just wanting to share that depending on where you are in the world, if it's already starting to get stormy or perhaps it's an overcast kind of day, you know the sun is there, and you can work with these colors in your mind's eye to breathe in these different frequencies and rays of light. Also working with a candle, and the flame of the candle can really support you to connect with that solar energy. Tai Chi Gong is another great practice to do. It's really what they're trying to say is we need to do some kind of movement to start getting the energy flowing through the body and allowing the passageways to start to open up so that we can really work with all of this solar light through the spine, which we're going to be doing. So whatever feels aligned for you today, it could even be some gentle dance and warm-up stretches. You want to have the heart pumping a bit and start to invite and allow the energy to flow through the body, starting to get into the breath. And a gentle walk would be the ideal. That would be lovely as well. Essentially, you want to get into your energy, start feeling your energy expanding around you in your physical body and in the energy bodies around you, starting to feel this expansion. So you got to start moving a little bit, and then we're going to be going into the guided visualization process of this activation. And the intent here is to remove old programming threads. So basically, we're going to kind of just explain the whole process to you and then get a little bit more into doing the activation. It's a guided visualization to start to remove the old programming. This programming could also be representing expired belief systems as another way to reference this. And we were actually guided to do the process of the solar spine activation in the sun in the later afternoon rays of sunlight, because that is the mature part of the sun. It's like the ancient wisdom keeper of the sun. So maybe 3 to 4 hours before sunset where you are, totally different energy than the morning sun, which is more of the infant and the inner child. So just to share, the Solar Rishi invite us to do this at the end of the day to really bring in the full potency of the sun, and it's much more gentle also because it's not directly overhead. So there's a lot less intensity depending on the solar activity of that day. So we're guided to go out into the late afternoon sun and solar charge the body. This process is a very deep deprogramming process. We're always running programs in the subconscious, and then eventually they start to arise and come up into our consciousness, and we can identify them. And with processes such as these, we can deprogram them on a deeper layer. And it is possible that they may come around on another layer, but eventually it becomes less and less and less of a charge, and then they don't come around anymore. This is a spiral of deprogramming. And so the Solar Rishi want to be very clear with everyone for our expectations that this is a journey and we're done when we're done, and just have fun. Some of the themes that could be coming up for you that are quite common for the human experience are themes of lack or separation consciousness. The opportunity here is to just kind of unpack, open, expand any themes of lack or separation where you feel like you don't have enough of something, and pull it up and out, and then reprogram your beliefs to affirm the abundance. abundance. So we're going to go a little bit more about describing this activation so you can feel clear in the direction of the intention for this and how to go about everything. This is a solar activation working with the solar logos, the Solar Rishi, and the solar cosmic Christ consciousness of our local sun, Solaris, in support to transcend old beliefs and to witness where we are leaking energy out in ways which do not serve or support us. We are looking at limitations and mastering the art of conscious deprogramming, working with the support from on high that is present with us to do this. So in preparation for this exercise, when you're going out into the afternoon sun, you want to make sure to have the sun getting equal access to various parts of your body. Even if you're fully clothed, that's fine. It's just we're working with the energies and drawing it into the body. So you want to make sure, okay, if I'm exposing one half of my body to the sun, I want to make sure to expose the other half of the body. You want to have the front body also in the light of the sun, then turn around and do the back body. The sun was a few hours from sunset for us, so it's still quite high on the horizon. And then just to review, we were guided to use this kind of mature gold of the late afternoon sun for this exercise because it's not as intense heat-wise and exposure-wise with all of the amazing solar activity going on right now. On any given day, there are a lot of geomagnetic storms, and so this is a more soft and mature golden prana to work with. And the intention here is to start to sit and start to bathe in this sunlight after you get some movement. You want to breathe the sunlight in. Now we're going to show you and describe to you the process of the actual exercise. So you want to sit with your body facing the sun, your face facing the sun. You can have a hat on if you like, but begin to breathe the sun in through the front body. Just seeing the waves of this light bathing the entire front body and penetrating your physicality, going through the layers of your body. Breathing and seeing this golden light going and charging the third eye, the pineal gland, coming into the brain, coming into the thymus gland, and the glandular systems of the body overall, inviting that golden prana, breathing it into each part. And you want to rub your feet too. You want to rub your feet, the tension out of your feet, stretch your toes, allowing more prana to flow through all of the chakras in the feet. When you feel like you've got a nice amount of sun on the front of your body and making sure that you have equal exposure on both sides of the body, then it is now time to proceed to the solar spinal activation zipper. So take your time, enjoying the light. You can pause this recording too until you're ready to proceed to the next part of the activation. And when you're ready, go ahead and you want to sit now with your back facing the sun and the solar arc. And now we're seeing this beautiful golden diamond crystalline light from the sun coming now, starting to actually come down, dripping down the crown of the head, down the back of the skull, and down into the nape of the neck there, and starting to see a river of golden prana flowing down the entire spine. So it's almost like this honey ambrosia nectar is dripping onto the crown of our head, and it is going back over the back of the skull and dripping slowly like a beautiful honey syrup down the back of the spine. And it's an amber and gold, kind of a honey color, and you'll see little rainbow chips, like little crystalline rainbow chips in it. And so just starting with breathing and just feeling this warm sun on your back, on the back of your head, the back of your neck, and working with this visualization of this beautiful ray of light coming down onto your crown, blessing you, and flowing down, down, down the whole back of the body, down back the spine. And now we will proceed with the unzipping for the deprogramming. So after breathing with this beautiful energy flowing down the back of the spine, we're going to start to see an unzip happening. If your spine was a zipper with the tag at the top, at the base of your skull, start to imagine that there is an unzipping happening with your spine, and it is being unzipped as the zipper goes down, 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 down the back, opening up all the way down to the tip of the tailbone. We're going to start asking our cosmic technicians and light body etheric surgeons. You can welcome forth different aspects of you. For us, the Arcturians come. The Arcturians are beginning to pull threads of programming out from where the spine has been unzipped. Continuing to see this beautiful honey, amber, golden prana flowing from the sun onto your back body, back of your neck, back of your skull, and head on your hair. Seeing different aspects starting to pull the threads out of the spine through surgical precision. And you may see these like threads, like a kind of fiber optics being pulled out of the spine. Each one representing a program that you are ready to let go of. Something you've been working on, working through, witnessing lately. You're definitely feeling like, oh yeah, I'm done with that. And so you want to allow them to pull it out and see, release, and make space for the new and true to shine through. Saying, okay, I'm ready to go on to a layer of something else. So we're starting to see these old threads being pulled out of the spinal column. These threads of light. Each one is taken and just thrown up into the sun to be transmuted. We're opening old threads of light, almost like a library within your spine, being pulled out by your cosmic technicians and archangels, your etheric body and light body technicians, whoever you have for your cosmic surgeons of your soul aspects of expression. So for me, it's the Arcturians that come through, and they do this along with the Solar Rishi, finding each thread one at a time. And we are being shown to look at it and to ask, if we don't know it right away, what is this? And what is this asking of me? So oftentimes programming is visible, and there are various themes you can be aware of, and they can be extracted with certain moments like this one. So for the autumn equinox, we've been working through these different themes the last 6 months of things we're ready to release that we don't really identify with anymore. It may be expired. So again, just breathing and seeing threads being pulled out. Things you're really ready to let go of, and perhaps it's been looping and you're very strongly feeling, yeah, I'm done with this. Or you're even seeing how some of these, there's really no emotional connection or energetic connection. It's just kind of a loop, an echo chamber that's been looping through our being and mind and emotions. Some examples of this could be victim mentality, separation or distortion programs where we feel that we are separated from source, which causes suffering. And we may feel badly about ourselves because we feel that perceived separation. And it makes us feel small perhaps, or powerless. And the overarching truth here is the reminder we're not meant to be separate. We're not meant to feel or to be separate from our love. So we are restoring ourselves to love. And of course, it's not about perfection. The Solar Rishi remind us. We need to release all of these words. It's not about making mistakes or any of those things. It's about love and loving ourselves through the experience, come what may. So any forms of separation and distortion from source consciousness, just allowing them to arise and to come out one thread at a time, each one getting pulled out. And as we continue and each of these threads are pulled out, we are told to say, course, correct, delete. Course, correct, delete this program. So each one is being nullified and removed, and you're welcome to repeat this as you go. Course, correct, delete. It's almost like you're going through a software and you're recoding the software. So you're going to put in an update. So you're going to take out the old software, the old outdated information, removing the old software, and we're going to update it with the new information. So when we do this process, we're going to talk about how the deprogramming is a spiral. The Solar Rishi really do want us to remember that we can come back around to themes that are deep core themes because we've been carrying them for a long time. So there are different facets, aspects. The intensity does get less over time because we've created more space within for love and strength and connection. So even when there are aspects of ourselves that are gnarly, that feels the suffering or anger or grief, we also feel our love. So it becomes easier. Seeing these as circles, cycles, spirals of the awakening journey in this deprogramming, and it does get easier for you. Every time we spiral up to a new version of the core programming, it does get easier because we're bringing more love and focused awareness to surrender with each of these themes. One of the big ones they always want us to talk about, of course, is separation, which is perceived to be separation, less than or small, powerless, frustrated. The other major themes that we're showing that we all are looking at to deprogram in various times and phases and stages is lack consciousness, the lack program. So this is another example of separation consciousness. And we have to look at the truth that we are each an infinite spark of source intelligence, a unique spark of cosmic intelligence of the universe animated by starlight. We are interconnected. We are a part of all that is. Our physical body is made up of all of these incredible materials that make up stars, all of creation, that elemental wisdom that we are as souls here in form in the body. So it's important to remember these beautiful truths of divinity and connection. It's okay when we forget. That's part of the deprogramming. That's the memory. That's the remembering going on. The sacred remembering. The sacred expansion of love while we have our human experience. And this is all to amplify our humanity and to really anchor in what it means to be a divine conscious human here. And this is activating the golden race DNA. So of course, lack can be a huge program that so many souls experience, and we are shown that it's because the feeling of being in the body and not in the ocean of consciousness physically is different when we have a body. And at first, here we are, we incarnate into the density of physicality on this planet. And we actually feel that there's a barrier. We feel separate from God or that primordial ocean of unified consciousness. We feel there is a wall between us, perhaps, with this sheath, this physical avatar. We could feel separated from Source unconsciously. When we come from the primordial oceans of Source consciousness, the body at first can feel alienating, constrained, limiting, frustrating. All of these come through in various ways, the feeling of separation. So a lot of this is just deprogramming anywhere that we felt separate from Source, from infinite intelligence, from our happiness, our peace, our love, and our pure power. When we feel that separation, it comes through. That's really the root of all of these programs. The victim consciousness, all of these things. So it can kick up those feelings of isolation, separation, abandonment, betrayal from God or Source or the universe, somehow being forgotten by the higher power that loves us, that we are actually one with. There is no barrier from that love, other than the conceptual distancing walls or veils which we have put up around the heart walls from when we felt the need to protect ourselves in the past. So just allowing ourselves to soften, bringing up the beautiful frequencies of forgiveness and love. And you can call in and work with the beautiful Hawaiian Huna Ho'oponopono for this. I'm so sorry. I love you. Thank you. Forgive me. However you like to order that. The other lack piece is lack of time, because being here in this physical experience, the illusion of the physicality and the Maya, we can get completely separated from infinite now moment time. We can get completely inundated and absorbed in the illusions of time and the programs of time that have been created by other consciousnesses that's not ours. So lack of time is huge, especially lack of time for ourselves or to do the things that make us happy. The things we want to do versus the things we feel we have to do. And we have a lot of roles to fulfill. We serve many in our families, our friend circles, our professional relationships, the world at large. But there's also an element of this we want to deprogram where there's any slavery programming or self-sacrifice or compromising our soul, our integrity, our needs, any of that martyrdom. We must expand the concept of time to the infinite and allow ourselves to participate in any activity, any desire that arises that would make us feel happy, joyous, expanded, free in the moment. To continue to build and then hold that relationship, that frequency of connection, of expansion, of infinite resources, infinite time. So, of course, this brings in a lot of the need for time for self-care, also creative expression, and the inner child getting some time and space to express. In addition to the adulting and the role fulfillment of our roles, all the various roles that we show up as, we have to have time for ourselves too, and to build and foster this relationship and this connection, to keep that balance, to continue to choose who we are. So lack consciousness most predominantly comes through the human experience and error programming through the feeling and the belief of a lack of time, lack of connection. So we have to learn how to stretch time. How to create infinite time through intention, through the breath, through asking, through the pure presence of being here in each now moment, saying here in the now, I am here in the now. So it's a process of removing these threads one by one and saying course, correct, delete. And then we want to reinstall the opposite, bringing in the positive affirmations, the gratitude, saying thank you so much. Thank you for this knowledge that I'm a part of the universe. I affirm that I feel this connection and this love and this support, and it is always here for me. It is always loving me, and it's excited about me and loves everything that I am, unconditionally. Thank you for showing me that I forgot. I felt that I had a limitation of resources. This is just a belief system. I can affirm the abundance that is all around me right here. And now, in this moment, I can reflect on the abundance of fresh air to breathe, clean water, fresh water to drink. I have food to eat and a roof over my head. I have people that love me. I have a lot. So you see, there are ways to insert and neutralize this program to then completely course correct it within the hardwiring of your neurology. We know it takes 30 days to 45 days to 60 to 90 to 128 days, depending on the individual and the consistency to reprogram consciousness. And we know that consciousness is 80% belief, 80% mindset. What are we looping? Because that is the signal, and we'll see evidence of what we're looping in our experience. All we have to do is shift it up. If we're consistently working with this deprogramming and these kind of affirmative statements to balance out, and we're feeling them and we're believing them, we're looking for evidence of them every day, asking for it to show up, and really focusing on it in all the forms that it does, we start to expedite our connection through being deprogrammed. So this has all been kind of a summary of what this whole activation is for you to start to connect with it and start to see how you can work with it. And so we're going to kind of give an overview of the process now to recap and start to kind of concentrate the process of the activation. We want you to get the most out of this, really feel this fabulous cleanse that is happening for the autumn equinox. So you're going to want to get in the sun, starting to invite your cosmic technicians, etheric technicians, aspects of being, unzipping the spine, drinking in the golden diamond crystalline light of the sun of Solaris, welcoming in the solar logos, that solar warmth, that white holy fire with gold, welcoming in our own solar codons, the Solarian activations of our DNA, which begin to activate the remembering as solar beings. As we unzip the spine and we're allowing this beautiful light to start to come in, you may see light language, symbols, shapes, geometries. You may hear tones. You may start to see the words or feel the feelings of the programs as they are being pulled from deep within our hard wiring. Softening, allowing the extraction of these crystalline threads from deep within the nervous system, the limbic brain and the adrenals, allowing each program to come up in its layers, seeing it, feeling it, finding some roots, and then when ready, when you feel complete, say, course, correct, and delete. And cause, correct, and delete. And then balancing it out with a positive affirmation. After each one of these, when you say your positive affirmation that is bringing the energy back to the positive, to whatever programming was arising, whatever beliefs of lack, separation, limitation, unworthiness, when you say your positive affirmations and you finish declaring it and you feel complete with that, you want to say regrid, click, regrid, click, regrid, click at least 3 times. So you're regridding your programming, locking it in, saving your work. Some more examples. I'm so grateful for the abundance in my life. I see this. I see it there. I ask for evidence. I see it. These are kind of examples of reprogramming through affirmations and mantras that you can create customized for yourself. So after you say and feel it, and you really feel it, bring your hands to your heart and smile and breathe. Take a few cycles of breath in and out and feel how the body is responding to this process of the deprogramming. Is there tension? Do you feel at ease and soft? You may need to repeat it a few times until it feels good and until it can be digested, until there is no tension in the body. And then it can be taken in and you allow it to filter down through the heart from the mind and from the voice aloud. You say your affirmation aloud. And once you feel this completion, you can move on to the next, remembering to say the regrid click because this hardwires. This seals in the benefits of each hardwire that you were installing. And you want to just go through this process until you could feel complete with any programs coming up. It could just be a few. It could be one, depending on what's going on right now for you. It could be a ton. You just see what you need to do. And this also depends on how often you engage actively in this kind of reprogramming and deprogramming activity. When you feel done, then you ask your technicians to re-zip you up, sealing it all with beautiful golden, diamond, platinum, crystalline, white, rainbow diamond light, seeing this now running up and down the spine, from root to crown, from crown to root, up and down, up and down, up and down, breathing, giving thanks to the Solar Rishi and the Solar Logos, enjoying that sunny warmth and cheeriness of our solar codes, the Solarian codons of DNA from Solaria, where we have that cellular memory as a solar being, a star being, how that expression feels through us as a human. How do we express that solar star? That star quality, that shine. And it's very childlike, very free, sometimes can make you giggle. It's very warm, and an empowered state of warmth and love shining from the heart. The love anchoring in that Solarian here with the Solar Rishi. They want us to feel these aspects of ourselves and to spend more time with them. And you can do this activation every day, anytime. If the sun isn't available, you can work with the flame and imagine the sunlight. When you feel complete, make sure that you rub your hands together to ground in. Make sure you're really settled in the body. You might want to rub your feet together or rub them on the ground if you have shoes. You could bring your palms to your feet just to really ensure that you're embodied and grounded and feeling this expansion, feeling the gratitude ring through you, feeling that solar light from the heart beaming out like a lantern, radiating out, and just enjoy the rest of your day. Have a blessed equinox season, and thank you so much for joining us. Namaste.